Anybody else low key have a week from hell? Anyways, y'all, this was the craziest week that I have had in a while. And eventually I'll get to talking about it. But I just haven't, I'm just not ready or there yet. So, though, I actually hate when people be like, oh, this happened, but I'm not ready to talk about it yet. Like, why you even say anything in the first place? And look at me being that person. Anyways, it's Jan. Let's talk today. So this weekend, I am going to the Cleveland brand trip. And so this is sponsored by Destination Cleveland. Very excited to be a part of this. When I got presented the opportunity, I'm like, absolutely, like, I'm down to do this. So we're going to be in a hotel all weekend. I don't know why my throat just started feeling very itchy. That's random. But we're going to be in a hotel all weekend, but we also will be doing activities all weekend. And that is my lane, right? I love a good activity. So I'm very excited to be out in the city of Cleveland and really just enjoy the time. So I am a little sad because I wanted my boyfriend to come with me, but it's like a girl's thing. So I was like, And then also, at first I was like, okay, maybe you can still come, like, and just come like on the first night and just spend the night with me or something. So this man, he's like, he basically had these projects that he wanted to do or whatever at the house, and he just like was getting all this stuff, and he was telling me everything that he was going to be doing. And I was like, you know what, actually you don't gotta come. I was like, you know what, work on your projects, because like it seems like you got a lot going on this weekend. So I'm glad I told him to do that, because yeah, it's like he needs to be able to take advantage of the entire weekend without me being there, so he can work on that. So yeah, but I'm very excited to go and hang out with all of the other content creators. I think it'll be also very cool to see like how everybody is with regard to like, doing their content pieces, because we all got assigned like one individual event. And so my event that I chose was one of the dinner places that we're going to. So I'm excited to highlight that, because I love a good food highlight. I love being able to spotlight that. That's definitely one thing that has become my lane and my alley. And of course, any activity, right? But yeah, so we're going to a lot of different places that I haven't been. Well, I've been to a majority of them. But there is one of the food places, well, two food places that I haven't been. So I'm excited to try them. And yeah. But yeah, I'm getting ready to pull up in probably the next 25 minutes or so. And that's how my weekend is going to go. But yeah, like this past weekend, just to give y'all just kind of a little bit of background on some things, like, can you imagine somebody who says that I mean, not say, can you imagine your parent basically like explaining how they just love you so much, and I mean all your life they've shown you that, but yet they've kept a very huge secret from you? Can you imagine finding, out whatever secret comes to mind? Can you imagine that? And you just like looking at them now sideways, like, who are you? Like, and so that's kind of what's going on, from this past week that I had experienced, and I was with my mom. My dad's a very great person. I'm not saying my mom is a terrible person, but low key she is. And yeah, that's all I'm gonna say. Eventually, I'll be willing to talk about it, but as it stands right now, I just really been like side eyeing her. Like, I mean, but I've been knowing she was a terrible person, but I just didn't know the extent of it. You know what I mean? And so, anyways, this past week, it was like I just really was like side eyeing her for real. You know what I mean? So, and again, one day I hope to be able to talk about it and stuff. But yeah, she piece of work. That's all I can say. But I'm grateful to still have my mom. I guess I can say that. And she experienced a stroke, and I've made videos about her before, about how like she can't really talk that well, but like I've always when I described my mom, I've always described her as the most selfish, selfless woman that I know. Like, will do anything for her kids, you know what I mean? But selfish in terms of like, just will also hurt her kids, you know what I mean? Not hurt them, like physically harm them, but might keep a secret from them, like, you know, might just whatever is her selfish ambition, which one of the work of the flesh is selfish ambitions for her, or just selfish in general. um she's that person. And so, but you know, I guess I don't even expect any less, because she is I guess she's an atheist. So yeah. And that's nothing against any atheists, but seeing my mom firsthand and how she's moved and how she is, it's just like a woman of God would never move like that, you know? But I'm not shading my mom. I'm not trying to talk bad about my mom. But just needless to say, things have come out that I'm just like, I don't want to be anything like you, you know? And I think that's a good space to be in. Wanting to be a better person, wanting to be a good person, wanting to be somebody who is of integrity, has values. Not again, I'm really not trying to shame my mom, but I'm just explaining like I'm thankful that I turned out to be who I turned out to be, and that's who raised me, you know, like somebody who is a total opposite of who I am. Now, don't get it twisted. I do still see some characteristics like that I have of hers. Like, she's the most impatient person that I know. And I will say I dibble and dabble with impatience myself sometimes, and I'm trying to work on it. But I think we all do. And so, yeah. But, you know, I'm just so glad I made it through, right? And I did not lose. So glad I made it. Because this week, it wasn't the best week. But today's a great day, and I'm happy to have made it to Friday, and I'm happy for the things that are on the way. Thanking God always, staying prayerful always, just trying to give it to God, in spite of any circumstance, and that's all that we can do. So I don't know if you all have went through something to where somebody lied to you, and you know, it was it was something that was, and it was somebody who say they love you, and it's like, I know my mom loves me, like, but at the same time, I question. I'm like, it's like that post, like, do you really love somebody if you would keep a secret from them, like that would hurt them, you know? I don't know, but I try not to think about it, and I'm just trying to move forward from the situation. Again, at some point, I'll tell y'all what it is. But yeah, I'm just staying in high spirits, and I'm just thanking God, because I know he doesn't there nothing he does is an accident, and he's extremely intentional, and I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be, as are you. So keep that in mind with whatever it is that you're going through or anything that you're navigating. God is an on-time God, and his purpose and his plan will always be greater than ours. So that's it, y'all. Other than that, that's all that I have to say for today. Keep me in your prayers, because I need all the prayers that I can get. And I will keep you in my prayers too. But yeah, I shall see y'all on the next video. I hope you have a great weekend. Bye bye.